Perfect timing, Mons. Perfect timing. Couldn't have done that any better myself.
I'm dying, bro.
They're dying here. They're dying.
It's crazy. We are back and we are here. Never a foul, guys. Another day, another show. International break. Let's see what we make of it. Big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you're subscribing to the boys. You know what I'm saying? Never a foul. Keep subbing to the channel. Make sure you smash the like button on the way in, so we don't have to remind you during the shows many times. You know what I'm saying? Big up Josh Joe, obviously. He's obviously here every week as well. Make sure you go and subscribe over there.
I see what you're doing there, Joe, as well. Johnny Stones.
Yeah, man. I
appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Now, people, listen, you have to smash the like button as well at the moment, right? Because I know it's international break here, and ask any content creator, this is the hardest time of the season. Especially this one kills me. Why play 3 games for a fucking international break, right? So, but the likes, they count more than ever, because at the moment they'll push this out to other people and we'll get some people watching the show. Because at the moment we're having to come up with topics for you and keep the content coming, because that's what we do. But please, just make sure you smash the like button. Check out the sponsors. OK Jerseys, another one on today. Old school one. See, they do actually do proper ones as well as the Homer Simpson one. Go and check them out. And of course, make sure you check out Match Bingo and use the promo code FOUL to get an extra 200%. I would say, how are you, Monts? But you're shit, ain't you?
Yeah. I'm trying.
Monts.
I'm trying.
I mean, they are called Shameless FC, yeah? But do you find this a little bit shameless, yeah?
Oh, man. Once they try winning the game, you won 4-0, no? Opening day.
But not just that, bro. It's been a couple of months, yeah. Like, come on. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've been dominating the whole fucking league. This is shameless, man. This is shameless. Come on. We're not Arsenal out here.
But you know, it's funny, like, I'm sure there's only a 3-point difference in you lot.
Oh no, we are shit at the moment. Don't get me wrong.
No,
You
but I'm
we're shit at the moment. But don't tell us to try and win a game like City have been shit. Bro, this is not my childhood. I know I've got the shirt that represents my childhood, but this is not my childhood. Like, come on, give us.
I'm saying to you that don't you play them in like 2 weeks and you only have 3 points?
Oh yeah,
difference?
I'm not looking.
So that's sometimes you got to look at that and go, well, you know what I'm saying? Well. I'll do it.
Yeah, myself. I don't want. Listen. I know myself, and I know that going to the Emirates right now is not exactly what we need at the moment.
Well, you're gonna have to go and do something you haven't done in a while and win over there.
Ask Joe.
Go on.
What's going to the Emirates like?
I haven't been, bro.
Oh, hold on. Was that at your gaff?
Wait, when? When you beat?
No, that was at the Emirates. The 5-0 was at the Emirates.
It was at the Emirates, wasn't it? Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, as far as City have got to go to the Emirates soon as well. Actually, Arsenal have done all right for home games because they've had Leeds at home. They've got us at home. They've got their next games at home. They've got quite a few home games to start the season, Arsenal, haven't they? Quite a few home games. You know what that means at the end of the season, though? Quite a few away games.
Yeah. But I'll say,
what's going on at City? What's going on? Because obviously he keeps changing the lineup, keeps changing everything. Obviously, Turkey's going to be out now.
What is going on at City? It's do you know what? Like someone commented on one of my videos saying, "Is there a crisis?" And I was thinking, at the moment there isn't, but in a few games there might be. It is fair to say, look, like if you look at the first 3 games of the season, a lot of these players are new to the club, right? So we're not gelling yet. But I do think there is some validity in the fact that the quality of the players we're signing aren't as good as they used to be. I also think, there has to be questions on Pep. At the moment, see, for me, I think Pep's still finding his best 11. But the one thing that I can't forgive Pep for at the moment is continuing to play a high line with Ait-Nouri, who goes forward, and Nunes, who is kind of a winger, right? So we're playing with fullbacks that like to bomb forward. Diaz, who has no legs, and we continue to play a high line, and we continue to be that. Because the one thing I've said on this channel is, if we lose games this season, at the start of this season, but it's not the way we lost games last season, then I can go, okay, look, Pep's trying to change things to how it was last season. But when you see us losing games similar to how we were losing games last season, you've got to question the manager, because at that point it's like, bro, like Diaz has no legs, right? And you continue to play this high line. Now, it was fine the other day when Kuznetsov started. Let's hope he's back for the derby, because if he isn't, by the way, I messaged Cass this morning. I had a dream last night. We lost 1-0 in the derby. Yeah. And we were really fucking bad. Really fucking bad. I won't also say the fact that Crouch and fucking Milner were playing for Man United because they weren't.
Wait, you let Amorim win in your dream? 1-0.
Bro, I had no choice. Bro, you didn't hear what I just said. Crouch and Milner played for Man United. Bro, they were beefing and got subbed off.
Not to mention, I don't think Milner would ever even grace a Man United jersey, being playing with his history with Leeds, Liverpool, and Manchester City.
Yeah. But us and him was left a bit.
All of their
Do you know what, bro? And you know what? One thing I'll say about Milner, I hate him now because he went to you lot and he spoke about it a little bit. Yeah. Sadly, but bro, his last season at City. His last season at City, I honestly think he was our best player. I rated Milner, bro. I thought in his last season he was really, really, really good for us. Really, was that good.
The season? Because remember,
he was playing as a winger. He was playing as a winger, bro.
There was a season you guys played him as a central attacker, like a central, not false nine. But I remember when you had a few injuries that year, and you played him up front was it up front or like a center attacking mid?
No, we played him. I remember him playing as a winger a lot. He was part of the United team that cooked Man United at Old Trafford 6-1.
6-1,
yeah. Him and Richards cooked down the right hand side. But nah, it was just, I think, because he went to you lot just as the City Liverpool beef started. And he I'm pretty certain he had a few things to say about City as well. You know what? He had no allegiance to City because he'd been there for a few years. I even rate slightly the fact that he went, because like we wanted to keep him, but he was like, nah, I want game time and I'm not going to get game time here. So I do rate that he went.
When your influx of like worldies was kind of coming.
Yeah, exactly that. So, but nah.
That's what I mean. And to be fair, how many did he win? 2 Prems with you or 1?
1. Maybe 2. Was it? We wasn't there. He wasn't part of Mancini. And 1. I'm pretty certain he won 1 under Pellegrini.
He won 2. I got it here, 11, 12, and 13.
Did he win 2?
He was in the 11, 12 squad.
He was part of the Mancini one. Yeah, he was, because he played Man United in the 6-1. So he won 1 under Mancini and 1 with Pellegrini. Then he left.
Yeah. He's got an FA Cup, 2 Prems, and a Carabao.
Yeah. Well, great player. You know what? He's one of them ones like Milner, Gareth Barry. Them two. Yeah, them 2 players are 2. Like,
doesn't he break the record? Won't he break Gareth Barry's record?
Yeah, I think so.
Season,
Yeah. Bro, is this Villa create? Well, I know he came from you, so I don't want to say Villa created him, but
no, they definitely.
These players that come from Villa, Fabian Delph is another one. Yeah, Delph. These man, and Ashley Young.
He was also at Leeds. I know. Right,
we'll give Leeds their credit as well. Leeds can have it, but now these, you know what? These man that are unsung heroes in teams. That like Ashley Young, bro, has put a shift in, man. Ashley Young has put a mad shift in. Andy's put a shift in with his missus. To be fair,
to be honest, it'd be nice to have someone like James Milner hold the Premier League, because Gareth Barry didn't really win out, did he? Whereas
he won a league with us.
But Milner's won it all.
Milner's won it all, all.
So it'd be nice to say the most Premier League obviously it's because he's Leeds as well, so I can say, well, you know what I mean. But I was hoping one day he'd return, but I think that ship sailed. I think he'll see his career at Brighton now. Did you see the stats when he scored the penalty that Herzler was 9-year-old when he got his debut?
Yeah.
I think James Trafford wasn't born for another 7 months when he got his debut.
Hell, that is mad.
Some of the stats was mad, man.
Bro,
Yeah,
so what you're saying is James Trafford pretty much could have been a product of
James Milner. Yeah.
Of James Milner getting his first start.
He's mad,
he got his first start, went out on the piss, and lo and behold, 9 months later, James Trafford was there.
Exactly. It's mad though, isn't it? That even his manager was only 9, man, and he was like playing. So yeah, fair play to him, man. Because this is a thing, though. He's a proper professional, and he looks after himself, doesn't he?
Yeah,
so that's what happens if you do.
I remember when we used to on our channel we used to do this a bit like a cribs, and they went round. I think they went round Micah Richards' crib, right? And they looked in his fridge, and his fridge was just fucking. His fridge was not the way a professional footballer's fridge should be.
Yeah, of course,
like I think he had like a takeaway pizza in there and stuff like that. Yeah, and he was going, look, if you want to see a proper footballer's fridge, go and look at James Milner's.
Yeah.
Go and look at Gareth Barry's, one of theirs. Like Milner is a proper professional. I actually do agree with you as well. He should probably have the most caps because of the fact that when you look at Barry, it's like, Barry won a league. I think he won an FA Cup. But whereas when you're looking at Milner, he probably has won it all, right?
Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, definitely.
He won the UCL with us.
Yeah.
Would he have won? I know they're not as rated as highly, but Club World Cup and
yeah,
so he's won it all.
And then he's played for like Newcastle, Leeds, Villa, City, Liverpool. So he's played for some big clubs within the Premier League.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. Anyone asking if Cass is all right? Yeah, he's definitely all right. He's living his life in Morocco for 10 days. So
it's all right for some minute.
This
is the thing when I do it on my own, I can never take a holiday. I can never find time to take a holiday. It's like I can't
I'll run your Leeds channel for a week for you.
Maybe just be you must buy Calvin. Every stream.
Every show would just be by Calvin Phillips. Bro, I don't know. Right. I'm intrigued to see because apparently at this point, Calvin Phillips is running his own training regime. Yeah, like he's pretty much deciding. I think he's got an injury again, but I've started to see calls for Calvin Phillips at right back.
Really?
Yeah, bro, because he's better than Nunes and fucking Rico Lewis.
Nunes was poor there at the weekend, wasn't
he? That's Rico Lewis, bro. It's going to be a problem. Like I said, I pray that we don't like. For me, City. I've been saying this, and it won't happen. But City need to go to a 3-5-2 with the players we have. We are suited to a 3-5-2 more than we are the way Pep's playing at the moment. Like genuinely play. Ruben Diaz is going to keep playing because of the fact we've just given him a new contract. So for me, Ruben Diaz needs Vardio and Kuzanov next to him. Let Ait Nori be a wing back and then maybe play Nunes or even play Bernardo as a wing back on the other side. And Monts, you're right, Marmoush is not a winger, so bring Marmoush into the middle and play him off of Haaland. And then play like Cherky and Reinders. So, but Pep ain't going to do that. So,
man, what's going on with Foden? You didn't mention him then.
No, because he's injured again.
I know, so but
he came back during the summer and actually looked good, and now he's apparently injured again. The truth is, bro, I don't know what's going on with Foden. Like Monts will tell you this. Mid last season, I was saying, Foden is before the injuries. I was saying Foden's not good enough. He's come out and said he's got mental health issues.
Is it?
Yeah, that was last year, bro. But for me, I still question, by the way, no one take this as fact. This is just me putting 2 and 2 together, right? And I could be wrong, but Phil Foden's got 3 kids. 2 of them are in the limelight. Like Ronnie has got something like 5 million followers. Yeah, so they don't mind putting their kids out in social media. His 3rd kid that was born last summer, there is not one picture of online, and that's when Foden went downhill. So I kind of am thinking, has something happened off the pitch? Yeah, yes, Aaron.
Big up, mate. Big up, boys.
So I think
just Joe.
I think I don't know. And by the way, I'm not saying this is definite, but I'm just looking at what has happened, right? And it just seems a bit of a coincidence that, I don't know. Either way, listen, footballing wise, he had that season where he hit a pinnacle. Since then, he's been shit. I'm not making excuses for him. He's been shit. And we do need him back badly. We needed him last season. So, anyway.
I don't know.
How are you, Aaron?
Soaked. Mate, my little daughter started reception, today. And I took her to school this morning, and it decided to absolutely hammer down. And it's been fine since. And then the second I have to go and pick her up, which is why I'm late. Sorry, mate.
Hold on. Why do you have to pick her up already?
Yeah, it's just because it's her first day from nursery, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So they do a little
nursery.
Yeah. So the nursery, and then now she's in reception, so they do a little bleeding in period. Do you know what I mean? Where like today and tomorrow, she'll start at like 8:30 and then finish at 11:30, 12. And then, do you know what I mean? Just to help them settle in from I'm thingy hours. But just decided to piss down, man, every time I went and got her. And you know what geezers are like? We don't use umbrellas, do we? Do you know what I mean? We just take
too
it.
Hard.
Do you know what I mean? Just too hard, mate, isn't it?
I went Chester races at the weekend. It was pissing down the whole day. And didn't really see any men with umbrellas. Women, all scouse birds running around with umbrellas. Monts, you need to get to Chester races, by the way.
I swear.
Yeah, it's great for gambling, not for women.
No.
But by the way, don't gamble. Don't gamble, people.
I thought you was on about the Dorises, mate. You know what I mean? That's where I thought you was going with it.
I was just. You need to go
there.
Guess what?
You meant the other way around. You meant the other way.
I was just.
That was the point, Aaron. That was the point.
Oh, mate, here we go. I think the water's just the rain's just soaked my brain away. Sorry about that, boys.
No, it's wrong. But yeah,
But
bro, what are we talking about?
Can I just, just while we're staying on City for a second?
Do we have to?
What about Jack Grealish? He's been let out of Pep prison and he's got 4 assists in like 2 years.
And this is another one that for me, bro, so I kind of was at the point at the end of last season where I was like, he has to go, right? Not because I want him to go, but because if you look at last season, before we signed Cherky, before we signed Ait Nouri, who is relevant because he plays on the left and he bombs forward. So before we signed Ait Nouri, Reinders or Cherky, while we had shitloads of injuries, right? Before we signed Marmoush, Grealish could not get a look in, And last season, I honestly believe there's quite a few games that we played Kevin De Bruyne in. If we played Grealish over Kevin De Bruyne, we might have won them. Because Kevin De Bruyne last season, where the City fans want to hold on to nostalgia and say, he was still quality last season, he wasn't. He had about 3 good games. The rest of the time, Kevin De Bruyne was blowing out of his arse more than Gundogan and Kovacic put together. Right? Grealish, there was a place for him last season in that City team, and Pep did not give him a chance. So for me, what was the point in keeping him? Now, if someone said to me, Daps, if you keep him, Pep's going to play him, I'd keep him all day long. Right now, would I rather Jack Grealish than Doku? Absolutely. But Pep clearly, basically around about last October, Pep and Grealish's relationship ended. Pep had enough of him. It was made very clear that Pep wanted him out. So from that point, it's one of them ones now where I want Grealish to do well, but I hate seeing him do well because I think, fuck's sake, man. I'd rather him than Doku all day long.
Do you know if he has a terrible season this season, Pep? Is there a chance he holds his hands up and says, I'm out, I'm done?
I think so. So. There's already people saying that some of the players we're signing might not be Pep signings and that maybe they are thinking life after Pep. But it's so confusing because he came out during the summer and said, when I finish at Manchester City, I'm retiring from football, right? He's got 2 years left on his City contract. So everyone said, yeah, that's it. But then about 3 weeks ago, he came out and said, I said, when my time at City comes to an end. I didn't say when this contract ends. But it's I can't see him staying much longer. And by the way, this one, Daps, you're negative. What am I to be put? Like I often get called a happy clapper by City's fan base, right? That I'm too positive. But at the moment, it comes to a point where you have to say what you're seeing, right? I've said when people have asked me where I think City will finish, I've said before a ball had been kicked, currently I think 4th. But if I see what I need to see in the first 10 games, we could win the league, right? But 3 games in, I haven't seen what I need to see. So what am I supposed to do? Stand there just for fucking YouTube and beat my chest and go, we're winning the league? I'm not going to do that. Like at the moment, we're a shit show.
Welcome to my world.
And if that means I'm now negative, okay, fair enough. But at the moment, in answer to your question, Joe, like I'm going to make it. I said 10 games and I'm going to be clear with 10 games. After 10 games, I will have a stance whether I will be here saying 100% Pep is turning this round, or I will be saying maybe Pep and the board need to start having conversations, because I will never, ever be saying sack Pep, right? He's brought me too much happiness for me to say that. But I will say maybe Pep, for the good of you and the good of the club, maybe it's time to come to a mutual agreement that you part ways. Because, like, at the moment, this high line, like I said, bro, this high line's killing me. This high line and, like, continuing to, like, not play an actual right back at right back. Even little things like Savio, after looking so good on the left at Girona, right, and then looking so average on the right at City, give him a chance on the left. If someone's got previous of cooking on the left, play him on the fucking left. Same with Grealish. Grealish would have a couple of good games in the middle for City, then be pushed back out on the wing. And it's just frustrating. And we can't just sit here forever. Does Pep have credit in the bank? Absolutely. Will I forever love him and think he's the best manager I've ever seen? Yes. But does it come at up like Arsenal fans will say the same about Wenger, right?
100%.
Chelsea fans will say the same about Mourinho, right? Sometimes managers just lose it. And I'm not saying Pep has yet, right? Because he's got that credit in the bank. I have to go back to Pep first season to Pep second season. First season, City looked really bad. Second season, we got 100 points. If he managed to take it from that to that, then I have to give him this season. But if we don't see a change, we can't just be blind and just continue to go, no. Like, I had this conversation with a City fan earlier who was telling me, in Pep, we trust forever. And I'm like, bro, I got married to my wife, yeah, because I wanted to be married to her forever, right? But we ended up getting divorced. We're still best friends, right? And it was very respectful, right? You can have a respectful fucking separation.
Yeah, you can.
And maybe that's what might be happening right now. Maybe we'll see.
Do you know what as well, Dapshare? Just to add on to that, do you not think just for Pep as well, we probably just stayed that extra 2 years? Now you never know that at the time. You never do.
Yeah.
With Arsene Wenger, like you sort of said, we never knew that he was going to stay as well. And maybe for Arsenal, I think it was the 2017 FA Cup or one of the FA Cups, or maybe it was the 2015 one. You think, right, maybe go. And then you just drag it on and drag it on and drag it on. For Pep, he's never. This is what, his 9th season, is it? There or thereabouts, give or take.
Season, yeah,
I'm sure
season.
it is. It's his 9th season. He didn't spend that long at Barcelona. He probably
No,
spent that long combined at Barcelona and Bayern.
No, he spent 3 years. 3 years as actual manager at Barcelona. I'm pretty certain it was 3 years, and then at Bayern it was 3 years. When we got him, I expected 3 years max. I never expected all of this. And in hindsight, he should have gone when we won the treble. I thought he would have gone when I think. After the treble, he wanted to stay to do the 4-peat, right? So I think he stayed to do the 4-peat. And obviously, because of the way contracts fell, I honestly think he would have gone. If him and his missus didn't have the breakup, I personally think he would have gone last in the summer. I think summer would have been the end of it. But because of where he was in his life, probably I think City's board kind of used that to kind of maybe get him to sign a contract extension. And probably also the fact that it did look like we need a rebuild. So they thought, who better than Pep to do the rebuild? So,
yeah, I think as well, if he was to have an unsuccessful season, like a copy and paste of last season, sort of there or thereabouts, no trophy list, I think he'll probably look back and say the same. He'll probably look back and go, do you know what? After that 4-peat season, I think that's probably when I should have gone. I think you can sort of... It's sort of unfair to say because the manager's, he's great. He's the greatest manager, currently managing. Let's just get that absolutely right. I just think he needs that new challenge now. I think he just needs
he's
something
retiring,
new
bro,
again.
though. I think he's
Or
retiring after this because
I mean, it's up
he's
to him,
talking about his family. He's talking about his. Remember, I don't know if you lot remember, but about 2 years ago, he went to get his back looked at. He had to take some time out to go and get his back looked at. He said his body's falling to pieces, but I don't know. He seems upbeat at the moment. But and by the way, let me be clear. I'm not here saying I want Pep out at this point. I still do believe Pep can turn this around because he's done it before for us, right? So I still do trust in Pep. But after 10 games, if this continues what I've seen so far against Tottenham and Brighton, and I don't see change, then it will be serious conversations. It has to be.
But an argument
and don't get me wrong, not beating Man United. If we don't beat Man United, the pressure on Pep's going to really start to fucking mount. And after that, we've got Napoli and Arsenal.
Yeah, I actually think, and I've said this on a couple of shows this week. I think if you only pick out like a maximum of like a 1 point out your next 2 games, I reckon the league's done for you. I just think if you go around, lingering, you're 8-9 points behind, you have a poor result against Manchester United and away at Arsenal, where you've lost twice.
Yeah, I agree.
Over the last couple, I just sit there and I'm thinking, if you're 9 points behind someone already, and the way that you're playing and the way that you would have been playing, have you ever picked up a point? In
it's the way, bro. It's just, you know what it is. It's the way we're playing. It's the lack of fight. Like there was no fight at the weekend against Brighton. You know what? It's worrying. If I'm sat here saying, listen, if Kuzanov don't start against Man United, then I'm really fucking worried, right? That's not good. That is not a good place to be in. If I'm talking about a kid that's 21 and I'm saying if he don't start, we're in a bad place. That's not a good place to be in, is it? It's
not for Man City. Not for Man City. Because it's harder as well, considering what you've seen, minus obviously last season, what you've seen in the last 8 seasons. Then it is a hard place. Yeah, probably not for most clubs in the country, but for Manchester City, absolutely.
I will say, put this in there, that we have had bad starts to seasons previously. We have got a lot of new players. I think I've counted that in the last 3 games, I think 8 of our starters came in either January or the summer. So we are trying to mold it all together. We also, don't think it necessarily helps that we've got Pep Linders and Kolo Toure all on the touchline, up and down, trying to put their system in. So, anyway, it sounds mad, but can we move on and talk about Isak? Mons, are you there? Mons, where is he? How do I knock on that? Mons, are you there? But let me ask you two quickly while we wait on Mons. Last night we did top signings of the summer, right? And I think our top 3 were Ekitike, Pedro, and then Isak. Where do you lot? Who are your top 3 signings in the Premier League?
What were yours, sorry, again, mate?
So Ekitike, Pedro, and Isak.
Yeah, I don't think it's not in that order though. I would go Isak, Pedro.
Mons will appear any second from you said that, because Mons was the only one saying Isak. We were saying, yeah, but so far Pedro and Ekitike have started the season well, whereas Isak hasn't played yet.
It's hard, isn't it, though?
Yeah,
three games in. You might as well just sort of almost say it on the face of the glamour of the summer signing rather than 3 games. Because, like, like anything, mate, Wirtz could all of a sudden start picking up his form and start blowing teams out the window, which I expect him to. It's 3 games in. It's a bit.
Gets going.
Yeah. Gyokeres, you could even add with a different manager playing an actual.
Well, we did a top 20, and initially Gyokeres was in there, Buemo was in there, Cunha was in there. There was a lot of players in there, but we had to whittle it down to the last 10 and whatever. Because I do think how United managed to get Buemo and Cunha over the line is commendable, considering how shit they were last season. To manage to attract them, but so. By the looks of it, Isak is now looking to, from what I'm seeing, he's looking to take Newcastle to the cleaners. I could really do with Mons being here to tell us what it was, but don't know where he is. Hold on, 1 second. Hold on. There's nothing. It's Monts, if you're there, could you come back, please, bro? Because we need to talk about Isak. Let's move on from Isak. Gyokeres become an Arsenal success. Aaron.
Yeah,
do you agree
listen,
with that?
man. Look, what it's become or has became. He's definitely not at the moment an Arsenal success, but not through any fault of his own. You look at the Liverpool, the Liverpool game. He had one opportunity to be fed in. That was in the first half. That was by Martinelli. He was falling off a cliff, and he's still falling into an infinite manhole, by the way. That's his form, of course, Martinelli. He had an opportunity to play him in. The exact run he made was perfect. The ball was there to slot in, and Martinez decided to run it out for whatever reason, for a goal kick, as he usually does. The point I'm trying to make him round up is the geezer's not getting no service. He had absolutely nothing. I feel a little bit sorry for him. I think if you was looking for an Arsenal fans, maybe especially an Arsenal fan on my side of the fence that are a bit more critical than everyone else, you'd expect him to do well, and he probably will do. You know, when you're not playing Liverpool at Anfield every single week, are you? In the 38, so that's got to be added into it. He's also had a bastard of a game away at Manchester United. So look, he has faced a couple of ones. So I'm willing to give a bit of leeway in there, but if the manager in said games is gonna sort of set out like that, then that just reduces the opportunity for Gyokeres. He had no creativity. I created a new position for Martinelli, or I call him a defensive left winger, because he's definitely not an attacking one. I haven't seen him attack properly and accurately and well with confidence probably for about 2.5 years. He's, you look at the right-hand side, we had Marino instead of an Odegaard, like people would have liked, or an Eze in there from the start. He had nothing. And the thing is there'll be a lot of Premier League games, home and away, against the big sides where Arteta sets up like that. So, it'll be very difficult to see the best of Gyokeres in them games. And I think I just read someone in the chat there, right? He's a flat track bully, in my opinion. And I would agree, under this manager, he almost is resigned to having to be a flat track bully, because you will never, ever, ever get the best out of him against a team you're competing with no disrespect to any of the lower sides. Of course, like with Leeds, with all due respect as well, he had them opportunity, he had the space, he had the chance, it was at home. So, he did have that bit more freedom, but, against the big teams, especially away, he's not going to get them opportunities because this manager's so rigid. He sets up so devoid of any attack. Unfortunately, that affects Gyokeres. He has to track a little bit deeper to get the ball, and that's kind of not why Arsenal have bought a number 9. You've bought a number 9 to be in the box, receiving them runs, running off the shoulder, and putting the ball in the back of the net. And if you're not doing that for him, guess what? He's probably not going to score the goals that you want. So, unless there's a change of system, which is why I was very disappointed about that Liverpool game, by the way. I know we're not talking about that, but that's why I was very disappointed, because we was just very rigid, very defensive, and you're never going to get... Go on, sorry.
Didn't he have them numbers? Like a lot of his goals in Portugal came against lower league teams, isn't that?
Yeah, that's true.
I actually don't know. Go on.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers, but it is true that he got them. I was going to ask Aaron, actually, so I was having this conversation yesterday. What are you expecting from him from a goals return in the league? Because I've heard 20, 25, and I think that's far too much. I don't think he gets anywhere close.
I would set an absolute minimum of him, which I did. I've put it on screen. I'm not going to change it. I think he should be getting minimum of 18 Premier League goals. I think that's fair. I absolutely think that's fair. Would I like more? Absolutely. I'm sort of obviously factoring in the manager he's under at the minute. I'm factoring in his first season coming back to England. I know he's played in it before, a bit in the Championship, and he's played for Brighton, etc., etc. I think that's probably about fair to say. If you can get me at least 18 goals, that's okay. I'd still prefer 20. 25, I think, was always going to be a bit of an ask, considering, again, the manager and the system, etc., etc. You'd then be almost ruling out the Manchester United's away, the Liverpool's away, the Manchester City's away, the Newcastle's away, Chelsea's possibly even away, and then even some of them teams at home, so you're automatically probably ruling out a minimum of 8 of them games out of the 30. And then he's still some tricky ties and away there. Then you're obviously counting on fitness, of course. So I think 18 was an absolute minimum, by the way, an absolute minimum. But I'd like him to have got like 20, 21. If he was to get 20 plus, I think Arsenal probably would have a decent season because your strikers bagging in some goals. It's this sort of difficult because you really hope again as an Arsenal fan that we were going to see a bit more of an attacking, a bit more of a roll of the dice, a bit more courage, and that from Mikel Arteta. But if he's going to play like that, and it's one of them things as well to just to stop waffling. If what he'd done prior was successful, I'd understand it a bit more. But he's gone again with the same style as last season, same style as the year before, and it produced no trophies. So it's a little frustrating for me, and probably really frustrating for Gyokeres, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. That's fair. Be interesting to see what he turns up with. Same as like. There's a lot of new strikers in the league, isn't there? So, do you think he'll outscore João Pedro?
Execution. So,
sorry, I'm going to bring that up. Hold on, I'll bring that up in a second. Firstly, let's just deal with what Joe's saying.
Do you think he'll outscore João Pedro?
Good question.
Sorry, you're talking to me. So I was just trying to decipher the.
I'm going to bring that
up. Sorry, bring it up, man. We can do that after.
Yeah, all right, I'll bring it up first. These negative gooners only know how to watch football games with their emotions. This dude is blaming the setup when the issue is clearly execution. If he can't see how we've changed the setup, then nothing can help him.
What are you talking about? Yeah, obviously, I appreciate the super chat. Well, what on earth are you talking about, mate? Like, that is possibly one of the worst super chats I've ever read in my life. The negative goodness know how to watch football games with their emotions. Yeah. Well, I mean, I am an emotional fan because I actually care about my club. This dude is blaming the setup when the issue is clearly execution. Well, what was there to execute then against Liverpool, my friend? What was there to execute? Nothing. So what do you blame? The setup. What about Manchester United? What was there to execute? Nothing. So what do you blame? The setup. At what execution? There was nothing to execute. How can you be that poor of a super chat? How can you pay to say that nonsense? If you can't see how we've changed the setup, how's it changed then? We're playing exactly the same way as we have done for the last 18, 24 months. And nothing can help him. Well, if literally you can't see that nothing's changed over the last 18 months, absolutely nothing is going to help you, my friend. What a fucking loser you clearly are. Jesus Christ. That's one of the worst super chats I've ever read. Dear, oh dear. Wow, pathetic.
Yeah, I can't lie. I think the way you set up against Liverpool was mad. Do you know what? I feel like the way I'm set, you know what it is? I should be able to talk on football without knowing that someone's going to bring this straight back to my club and the way we're setting up at the moment. But I am just going to, the way you set up, right? If you're playing a Liverpool team that have looked a little bit shaky at the back, right? To then basically go there and no Saka's not there, so no one of your creative options is not playing, and then to play no Eze, no Odegaard, it's like Liverpool would have just looked at that and gone, "Cheers, thank you." So we don't. So what you're saying is we don't really need to worry about too much. It just seemed very like, and this is where right. If we look at Arsenal over the last couple of years, the thing that Arsenal have failed to do over the last couple of years is turn draws into wins, right? Especially last season. If you would have turned a few of those draws into wins, and then it looks like he went to Anfield to play for a draw. Now, at the same time, as a City fan that knows how difficult it is to go to Anfield, like the only time we've beat Liverpool in a long, long time was during COVID season, right? So when there was no fans there, we always lose. I think we might have got, I think 1 or 2 draws over the years at Anfield, right? So I do understand that going to Anfield is a difficult thing. But if Arsenal are going to win the league, they need to turn some of their draws into wins and go in and play in for a draw against Liverpool because this is the thing, when Arsenal play Liverpool in 6 months' time or whenever the next game is, do I think Liverpool will look better? Yes, 100%, because Virch will have settled in, Isak will be there. So to win the league, you probably need to strike early against Liverpool while they look a little bit shaky. And to go there and play no one really that creative, I just think you played into their hands, man. Massively played into their hands.
Manchester City, you've never gone away at Liverpool and played a poor Liverpool side as bad as they played for 70 minutes. They were just not in the game. The problem with that was we were just as poor. Do you know what I mean? We were just as poor. If good Manchester City sides, and they're the difference, by the way, people. The difference between being a good Arsenal side and a great Arsenal side is going there with an attacking system, a proper system in place. And that Szoboszlai goal, if Arsenal were a great side that went there with proper intention, that would have been a consolation. That would have been a 2-1 goal. There you go. Thank you very much. I've never seen them so poor against us, especially at Anfield. Their defence cannot. I mean, we've all seen who had a good game, by the way. Konate was basically begging for a red card in his last 2 games. The defence weren't really there. They've got a midfielder playing right back. Works ain't hit the ground running just yet, which I expect him to. It's not a Liverpool side on fire. I think that's fair to say because they're only 3 games in.
Yeah.
We had a great opportunity there to go and put something down for 70 minutes, 65, 70 minutes. Liverpool were just there for the taking. They just needed a great team to step up and do something. But Arsenal decided that they would just cower. They'll go, Liverpool don't really fancy it. Do you know what? Maybe we just won't either. And then there you go. You just got that crap little game where it was just almost a nothing. And then it always just a coin of phrase that is what it is. It gets a world-class goal or a mistake. And it was Liverpool yet again that pulled their socks up and done something about it. But, that's the frustrating sort of thing about that, and that's probably why Arsenal Football Club, in terms of that team, are ready to win the Premier League. This manager is not ready to win the Premier League. Yeah. He is not. I'm sorry, you could see it. He killed any optimism that I had, and I'm critical of Arsenal. And I think the chat know it. Probably you boys know. I'm a little bit heavy on the critical side, and I think I'll get my flowers when I say this. Arsenal and Arteta, he just cannot get over the line. Yeah, he can't do it. This squad's ready, but he's not. He had an opportunity to go to Anfield and to really, really, really hammer down, set a marker. What would he have said? What would that have said to a Monts and a Manchester City and Daps fans if Arsenal went there and won 1-0 or 2-0? You'd have gone, fuck me, Arsenal look ready this season. One sec, lads, let me just land just quickly. You'd have gone, wow, Arsenal look ready this season. Arsenal fans like me, Arsenal fans like some of the other guys that sent super chat in would have gone, wow, yeah, we're looking really good this year. Pep and Slot would have gone, wow, Arsenal were ready this year, and Arteta would have gone, bang, we finally got that big win away. Yeah, we're ready this year. But what did we do? Shit the bed and left skids on the way out of it again. This team is ready to win stuff. This manager is not. And the more he's here, the more we are handcuffed and held back. And we will not win anything under this manager. It's fact. For me.
Do you know what? There was. Sorry, he has responded. But just on this one, Dap, did you ever win at Anfield during your title challenges? Why is it now a must for Arsenal? Listen, firstly, bro, when people have said this in the past, I've always said that going to Anfield and getting a point,
is a good result.
Is a good result. I've always said that, because as a City fan, you are right. The only time we beat Liverpool was actually bizarrely the season they won the league, and we beat them just after. Literally, they were pissed.
When they were drunk in that. When they were drunk,
and there was no fans there, and we spanked them, right? So I hear what you're saying, but this is what you lot do. You don't listen to what I said. I wasn't so much putting this on, and Man City had nothing to do with it. What I said is that last season you got way too many draws, and if you have an opportunity to get a win over a draw, I fully said going to Anfield is difficult, but I think if you're going to play a team that at the moment defensively don't look as strong as they're going to be later in the season, and they happen to be your rival, their points and your points are going to be probably what decides the league. If you can go and strike early against them, you should do, right? Change that draw into a win. Arteta went there and set up for a draw. He didn't go there to win that game. There's no way Arteta thought, unless it was set piece FC. That could be the only one.
It felt like get to the 70th minute at 0-0 and then we go for the game. That's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah. And this one's for you, Aaron, I think. Try rewatching the game first and foremost and take the other 2 games into account. I'm definitely not going to argue with you if you can't understand the setup. And let's not be rude and call each other losers. You'll lose that one. Oh, I mean, you can call Aaron a loser as many times as you like, as long as it involves super chatting in. You know, you can win that argument. And you two should carry on arguing, I think, personally. But, you know.
I'm happy to, because there's clearly, a ridiculous amounts of holes in his logic. Let me just state a few more of them. So watching the game first and foremost, and take 2 games into account. I mean, if you actually listen to me, I already have done. Plenty of times, not even just on this channel. I also said, you know, or as I will say, taking 2 points from 6, 6 points from 6 is fantastic. But you don't listen to me clearly. You just like getting your little willy hard and having a little pop at me. I'm definitely not going to argue with you if you can't even understand the setup. Mate, what are we talking about here? Why don't you super chatting again, because you were giving it the Barry McGuigan? Why don't you send super chatting back in and tell me what's changed in the setup then? Because I'm telling you nothing's changed, because we've gone 2 defensively in both 2 games, and then we've won away at least. That's exactly what we was doing last season and the season before. So obviously you clearly know more about me. So don't just lob in a little statement and say, if you can't understand the setup. Well, I think I do, and I actually think I'm factually right. It's consistent with what we've seen over the last 2 years. But clearly you know football better than me, so explain how the setup's a little different. Let's not be rude and call each other losers. You'll lose that one. Well, clearly not, because you haven't got a fucking Scooby-Doo what you're talking about. And 3 laughy faces. I mean, more laughing at you, mate. It's ridiculous. But keep them coming in, because I'm happy to drive you into the ground like a fucking tent peg on a wet day with every silly thing you say. So let's go. I'm here for it.
I appreciate the super chat a lot. Thank you very much. And
I appreciate you, brother. That's a interesting debate there. I mean, I don't really think, as a rival fan, even Aaron, I think I'm kind of with Aaron. I don't really believe, I haven't seen much change in in Arsenal's shape, in my opinion. I agree with, I thought Arsenal do have the players to win the league. I just don't think. I think
they've got the best squad.
They have capable.
They've got a great squad.
I just feel like, as I said, for me, Arteta drains the creativity out of the Arsenal attackers. For me, the handbrake's always on. Don't get me wrong. You'll see the odd game where Arsenal want to go and make things happen, but these aren't really the games. It doesn't happen in enough games, and that's why I think there's too many draws. You know what I'm saying? There's too many draws. Yeah. And also, it's like playing to your players' strengths that go forward. I don't think Odegaard has played to his strengths anymore. I don't think that's happened for like the last 18 months. I don't think Gyokeres, in the short time we've seen him, Arsenal played to his strengths, in my opinion. They're trying to use him in a similar way that Kai Havertz is used at times. You know, that one's a bit interesting to me. Because obviously, when Saka comes back, maybe we'll see something different. But I'm not seeing a lot of. I don't see like a load of crosses.
How long's Saka out for, by the way?
I think 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks, I believe. So I think Eze could play to Gyokeres' strengths. I think the Eze signing is someone who could unlock Gyokeres. But yeah, that's just kind of like why I think.
Can't unlock him on the bench, though, bruv.
Do you know, this is the thing that I did say last season, right, about when, and probably the season before, when Arsenal fans have continued to go on about the number 9 and the fact that they need a number 9 and they can't win the league without a number 9. And I said it coming from a club that had won leagues without a number 9. We went and got a number 9, and I watched the change. And you have to change the way you play football when you get a number 9, right? You have to. It becomes less fluid. The thing is, when you look at players like Gyokeres and you look at players like Haaland, you can look at what they do when they're playing for other teams, right? But Manchester City and Arsenal are 2 teams that come up against a low block week in, week out, right? And when you're coming up against a low block, it's a lot more difficult to play with the number 9, right? That number 9 has to be a serious fucking gunman, right? Because teams will put 2 men on him, right? Sometimes teams will put 3 fucking men on him, right? I've seen 3 men on Haaland before. Now, that is where you need other creative outlets on the pitch. And that's where I think at the moment City is struggling. Because if you go and look at, say, when we had Aguero, right, we had Kevin De Bruyne, we had Raheem Sterling, we had Sane, we had Gundogan, we had Mahrez, right? We had Walker overlapping, we had Cancelo. All of a sudden, there's so many things that the opposition's defense have to think about that Aguero will get those pockets of space. If you don't put creative outlets on that pitch with that number 9, then all of a sudden they can put 3 men on your number 9 and mark him out of the game, right? Yeah. You have to and this is the thing, without Odegaard and without Eze, they're going, fuck me, we can double up on Gyokeres, no problem whatsoever, right? Gyokeres is not going to get that space to run into behind. And then all of a sudden, it becomes a lot more difficult. So I do think, like, they're probably right. Even last season, do you know what? I keep saying this to City fans. If you look at last season, the back end of last season, there were Haaland was injured for, I think, about 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, right? And we were playing Doku, Marmoush, and Savio. And whether you like it or not as a City fan, because of course Haaland is in my best 11 for Man City. However, like it or not, that front three looked more fluid. And sometimes you have to take the 9 out. I do think there'll be times when Gyokeres doesn't start, and Arsenal will look probably better. But you have to stick with it. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while to get used to playing with him. But I think you're going to need Eze on the pitch. You're going to need Odegaard on the pitch. And you're going to need Saka on the pitch. Then you can start seeing Gyokeres get a bit more space. Without that, he's just going to be marked out the game. People, there is nearly 900 people in here, which is not bad considering the fact that it's international break. So I appreciate that. But please, could you get the likes up a little bit higher? They're only on 240. Let's get those likes up to around about the 350 mark at least. It will really help the channel. Monts, people have been saying, do you want to speak on the Salah comments? Are they meaning the Salah comments about Liverpool agenda?
No. So basically, Salah came out and spoke about the disrespect towards Nunes and Diaz.
Yeah, but wasn't that off of a post from Liverpool from Anfield Agenda? That's Anfield Edition, is it? That's nothing to do with the club, is it? Let's be clear.
Nothing to do with the club. That's just it's like, you know, you got like your City extras or the AFC zone. Like it's just those Twitter pages that amplify the news kind of thing. And I don't know. For me, I think Salah's just protecting his teammates. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think players love the fans, but they're also gonna protect their teammates. Yeah, especially teammates they've won a lot of things with. I think Salah also probably understands that we're not gonna hold Diaz and Nunes to maybe the standard and respect that Salah is held to, and he probably maybe doesn't like that because again they probably look at it from a perspective that all players should be respected in the same way. But that's just not the way football works. The better you are, the more respect you'll get. And the worse you are, the less respect you'll get. But if you go from bad to good, probably going to get more respect than someone who was already good when they came in because everyone loves the story.
Do you know what I'm saying? To any City fans as well on this, just so I've been told that I don't know if you like you lot won't see this, but over the last couple of months, a lot of City players have been getting mad abuse. Edison's missus got threats, kids got threats. And this is the main reason why Edison's left City, by the way. Edison didn't want to leave City. City didn't want to sell him. Edison's missus pretty much said, don't want to be here no more. And I've been told to any City fans, I've been told that Rodri is fucking livid at it as well because he's very close with Edison, and that like a few of the players' wives are saying like, "Is this really how this fan base treats us?" Now I know it's not game going fans. I know that it's online and it's probably it's probably little kids in their basements, but like
it still doesn't make it all right. Though, you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't make it all right at all. And like this is the thing that when people are thinking like, and honestly, this is what I have been told right by someone. Looks like there's a response to you, Aaron, in a minute.
We'll get to that
in a minute. But I on Twitter, I've seen some of the accounts that are calling out City's some of City's players and like being pretty. It's Gundogan, it was Akanji, it was Kovacic at times, Bernardo a bit, Edison, the older players. Right, last season we're getting some real fucking pelters, and when we've like said on Twitter, this is not it, bro. People have said, this is it. The only way the club will listen is if we threaten players, yeah? And I'm like, bro, listen, different cultures do things differently, yeah? To me, that's mad. But all I am going to say is if that is the way that that's the way you've been brought up, that the way you get what you want is threatening, yeah? Then, okay, my counteraction is now that I've told you that players like Rodri and other City players, yeah, who are close to these players, you are making threats towards them and their family. it's hurting them as well. It's making them think twice about whether Rodri currently has 2 years left on his contract. And I'm being told that one of the reasons he is stalling on it is that he's not really feeling the way his mates and his mates' family have been treated. And seeing what Salah has done, it's like people think that social media, you don't think about the consequences. The consequences is it makes people not want to join our club. It makes our club look shit. It makes us look like shit human beings. Like, it's just not the way you treat people that play for you. Well, it's not the way you treat people, full stop. So I actually rate that Salah came out and did that, I do.
Definitely.
I do.
Like...
Because do you know what it is? No, go on, Josh. Sorry.
No, so like I know, like Bamford had people turn up at his house one season. Do you know what I mean? Outside his house in a car and stuff, and it's just crazy, man. Like, what are you doing? I think as well, what I've established is every fan base needs to have 2 or 3 players that they like to get stuck into, and even when them players move on, another 2 or 3 players will emerge. That's what I've found.
The scapegoats, isn't it?
The scapegoats. You need to move him on. Like, what's frustrated me this summer, we've got players that probably are never going to touch the pitch, but are like from Leeds or whatever, and they're like, they need to go. And I'm like, but why? Yeah. Because they're a squad option that are happy to be a squad option and might see the odd minute here and there, but then they're like, yeah, but they're not good enough. And I'm like, yeah, but they barely play at all. So why are you bothered? I just think, there has to be a small group of scapegoats within the fan base. I think Robertson with Liverpool at the minute, I keep hearing about Robertson, and it's like what he did, and now all of a sudden he's get him out. He needs to go and stuff, but he'll barely touch the pitch. I just don't understand the logic, mate.
It's mad. I mean, the prime example is at the weekend, right? So we lose, and this is where I'm trying on my channel to like be a bit more balanced. So straight away we lost. Now, was there a Nunes handball? Yes, but was Aït-Nouri better than Nunes in that game? No, he was not. Right, but straight away everyone will go for Nunes. The maddest thing is Savio and Doku came on for I think 15 minutes. The minute the game ended, we lost 2-1. People are talking about Savio and Doku. And I'm like, but hold on a second. They weren't even on the fucking pitch today, right? Now, do I think Savio and Doku might not be good enough for City and what we should be achieving? Yeah, maybe I don't think they're good enough. But if we've just lost 2-1, then there's 11 players on the pitch that we can talk about. Why are we talking about 2 players that were not even on the fucking pitch? It's an agenda.
Yeah. I know about the manager you didn't actually.
And the manager, bro. And the maddest thing is that the saddest thing is that actually the reason why they've got it in for Savio and Doku is because they want Rodrigo. And this is not me. Right. If someone says we need new wingers, I'm here for the conversation. I honestly had people telling me we need Rodrigo. We need Rodrigo. It's like, no. We need better wingers. You can't state we need Rodrigo. It's an obsession with getting a Real Madrid player. It's fucking mad. Monts, the other thing though, is that going to war? Actually, no, hold on. Super chats.
Go on.
Aaron, do you know what? We can swap. I'll let you debunk it. Or
yeah.
Right?
Okay, cool.
Appreciate it. But actually, before you do, Ayo, really appreciate the super chats and supporting the channel. Thank you.
I'll second that. I'll second that as well, to be fair. So fair dues to you. Do you know what I mean? You're super chatting and supporting a great channel, never a foul. So big up to you. I just disagree with every single thing pretty much that you write. And we've been switching and releasing the ball far more quicker than last season. How? Can you explain to me how? Because Manchester United really actually quite dominated us. So where was the switching and releasing the ball earlier than that? In the first half against Leeds was very timid. The second half, maybe about 35, 40 minutes of it was playing decent football. Against Liverpool, we weren't switching or releasing the ball quicker at all than we was last season. So I'm kind of gathering maybe that your whole entire point about the game that against Liverpool was probably not even the game that you're referencing. It was probably about 35 minutes of the half against Leeds where you could possibly have the only argument about switching and releasing the ball far more quicker whilst you're already 2-0 up against the promoted side at home. So that's absolute madness in itself, because we haven't been doing that against the 2 away games that we've played, because we played crap against Liverpool, horseshoe football, 2-0, 3 Nelsons playing side to side. We barely played the ball forward and Manchester United dominated us. First half against Leeds was crap. So really, you've got nothing to argue by then. Absolutely just been debunked. Salah. Calafiori alone is a big enough indicator. Let's get that back up. Sorry, Dad. Calafiori alone is a big enough indicator to how we've changed. Let me just debunk that again very quickly. The only reason he's playing him is because he's fit. He bought him last season and played him, by the way, out position at left back. The only reason he didn't feature last season at left back because he was constantly injured, because he's an injury-prone player. That's why we played Miles Lewis-Skelly. So why is that enough of a big indicator, playing the left back that he signed for 35 million last season? He's fit this season. That's not a change in style. He's just playing a player that he bought to play that position that now is fit. So that in itself is also just madness and shows me the logic and brain that you actually have in terms of football IQ. That's minimal if you can't come to that inclusion, what I just said. The issue is execution from the players. That sentence alone in itself, I can somewhat agree with. But the point that you was also making from the last one is that, I'm sorry, there's no play or passing to allow real execution from the players because we've been dominated, which leads to my first point. Odegaard position and Martinelli not releasing the ball earlier. Whose fault is that? The manager. Everything that I've been saying. So what are you disagreeing me with here? I've debunked everything else, and some of the things you're even agreeing with me. I don't really understand where you're coming from, which makes me think maybe you're just a young kid. And fair dues, if you are, you can't help when you were born, or you know nothing about football, or not enough to really be able to make a valid point. Because if you made a good one, I'd agree with you. I'd change my point. I can promise you that. If you'd have said something that had gone, oh, do you know what? You're making absolute sense. Fair dues to you, I'd have said it. But you're talking shit. Absolute crap. And there you go. Debunked again. Next.
And we really appreciate your shit, so please keep talking it. There is nearly 1,000 people in here, which is great considering international break. Please make sure you are smashing the like button. Monts, the other thing with Isak, I see that he is now following in the footsteps of Paqueta. By the way, I like that Paqueta. Have you seen Paqueta's doing it as well? Paqueta and West Ham are looking at potentially suing the FA.
Wow, what's Paqueta?
Well, I said it that apparently because they'd agreed terms with Manchester City to sell him, right? And he'd agreed personal terms with Manchester City to obviously get a significant wage increase. And Man City pulled out because of the charges. And so they're saying, West Ham are saying, we lost a lot of money because of this. And he's saying, and I lost a lot of money because of this. I said a few months ago.
How did West Ham lose money? Oh, because they didn't sell it, because they couldn't sell it.
We'd agreed terms with West Ham.
It was a 90 million. Was it 90 million euros, something like that?
Yeah.
So what a dickhead he is, though. What? Because he got off because he's got mint lawyers. Like, let's not pretend that he wasn't being a crook, man. And now he's trying to sue them.
Oh, well, I know how you're going to be when we So when we beat 115, is that what you're going to say to me, Joe? Eh?
Well, yeah, because you shouldn't be beating 115. Let's be honest.
All right. Well, in that case, I tell you what. Once you hang around in the Premier League for a little while and see how corrupt them bastards are, you might start changing your tune. But
let's see if we can first, mate. Let's see.
What is Isak trying to Monts? What is Isak trying to sue the Premier League?
I don't really know,
Newcastle for.
I don't really know. Hold on, you guys gotta give me 1 second. These NHS, you guys, literally 1 second.
All right. Do you know what? Every time we try and talk about Isak, he does a run
off.
He's off every single time. Right. Well, and the problem is that I haven't actually fucking read what I wanted Monts to break down to me what it was. So I'm gonna have to really, really quickly. Isak.
I'm back. I'm totally back.
Perfect. Thank you. Did you tell him to F off?
Not like that. Not like that.
Oh, by the way, actually, I do need to apologise yesterday because I didn't realise I stepped away from the screen yesterday and forgot to mute, and I was on a call to someone.
No, we spoke really loud. We spoke really loud, so they couldn't hear what you were saying.
Yeah, I was losing my shit.
We spoke really loud. No. I was just to do with my appointments and stuff. But I don't know, bro. I don't know. I've looked at what's going on with Isak. I've not seen. Can someone tell me what's going on with Isak?
Well, that's what I was hoping you could. Right, let me Google it. You entertain everyone. I'll have a quick look.
Yep. But just about that Mo Salah thing. I just think he's protecting his teammates. It's just as simple as that. Mo Salah was asked at the awards. Was it the PFA awards? He was asked, "Do you think this team now is better than the team that won the Premier League?" And then he said no. His answer was no, and he also said that he believes Arsenal are the favourites for the league. So I don't think that's a disrespect to the current players that are here. It's just that the players that are here need to prove why they're better than the players that were there. I think that's fair to say. You know, listen, I'll say it's clear as day. Darwin is nowhere near as good as Alexander Isak, but Darwin is a Premier League winner. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna have to, obviously Isak's gonna have to come in and prove. He's gonna have to go and prove himself as well, which I'm pretty sure he will do. Same with Florian Wirtz. I just, as I said, I think Salah just looked at it and goes, rather than talk again, it's proof in the pudding. Rather than talking on players that have won the league, you know, we can celebrate the new players without disrespecting the old ones. It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I've got no problem with Salah coming out and speaking about that.
It's a good captain, man. It's like a captain's move. I know Van Dijk's the captain, but he's back
part of the leadership.
One of the leadership group. It's one of the leadership. Sorry, just to read out what. So, Alexander Isak to take legal action against Newcastle United ? And then there's a rat emoji next to it. So I would imagine that means it's come from. Oh yeah, it's come from a Magpies account. So
say again one more time.
Alexander Isak to take legal action against Newcastle United ? With a rat emoji afterwards, and it's from a Newcastle account. Yes, Isak has been the story all summer, and it might not be done with yet. Sad face. This all comes down to information from Chris Williams, a journalist, on his X account via a contact he has at agency Universal 22. The speculation is that the agency are looking into whether to launch a defamation case against Newcastle over controversial, unverified remarks in the Telegraph. The comments that have upset Isak's camp were about an accusation that Isak was trying to deliberately sabotage matches. Luke Edwards claimed that his sources were saying that from April onwards, Isak played like someone who didn't want Newcastle to qualify for the Champions League, as he knew it would make it harder for him to get a move away. So
what? That is mad.
Well,
so they thought he was down in tools to make it easier for him to move.
Yeah.
I think that is defamation of character, though.
If that really happened, I mean,
if the journalist is fucked, because if his sources are not real and he's fucked, he can sue the journalist 100% because it is defamation of character. No footballers doing that. No way. We'd see.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, do you know what? I think it has come out that maybe Isak earlier in the summer than we thought wanted a move. But I honestly do believe the back end, and I've been critical of Newcastle's board in that when they won that cup, right? I personally think this summer for Newcastle United should have been their biggest summer, right? Because they've got a squad that last season, their best 11 could compete with anyone, right? Their best 11 was absolutely quality. They won their first trophy in something like 60 years?
Yeah, more, I think. Yeah.
That will help them, with bringing players in, right? It will help them financially, because sponsors, right? You've won a trophy. The sponsorships out there, they would have got more sponsors. And if they would have learned from their previous time in the Champions League, and knock-on effect to the league that season is you have to make your squad bigger. You've got a great starting 11, but your squad needs to be stronger. They had a group of players in Bruno. I actually do believe in Isak, in Livramento, in Tonali, that all seem to probably at least give it 1 year, right? 1 year, we're back in the Champions League. Let's see what we can do. And ultimately, as a club, they let him down, right? As a club, not having a decent sporting director is just criminal, because this is why, like, realistically, Man United should not be able to have got players over Newcastle this summer. But that's what a sporting director does. He gets moves over the line. So I do think Newcastle let him down massively. There's no way that he down tools. There's no way. Bro, one of the reasons why footballers are professional footballers is because of their mentality. Their winning mentality. They're not going on the pitch looking to fucking lose. There's no way. No way, not a chance. But I can see this goes nowhere. I think Isak got the move he wants. I think he'll probably just fucking keep pushing foot and forget about it. Because what's the point in dragging it on? Would you agree, Mobs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a mad thing to say from the journals. Is it Luke Edwards that said it? I don't know if it's Luke Edwards the one who said it, but if the move got done earlier on in the window, and they had a sporting director, then things would be a lot easier for Newcastle. But I think at board level, it's just all been a bit of a mess. So I agree.
Absolute mess.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the fans almost don't really know who to blame at this point.
Bro, this is the thing when I had conversations with Pete Davey. It was like, but for me, I get it. It's not nice when players want to leave your club, but I just think like you got to look at your board at times and say going into this summer, like, and this is the thing he kept talking about PSR with me. I'm like, but correct me, someone tell me here, you can hire sporting directors and that wage that's got fuck all to do with PSR, right?
Fuck knows, man. I don't think anybody knows.
I don't think, no, not at all. I don't think so.
Not having a sporting director was criminal.
Yeah.
Absolutely criminal. When you look at the amount of players that they went in for, seemed to be getting over the line and then it dropped. That's what sporting directors
and
do.
how close their squad was to actually being top 6, traditional top 6, challenge worthy, even to remove someone out of the top 6. Because Newcastle last season comfortably better than Spurs, comfortably better than Man United, arguably right there with Chelsea. They were right there with Chelsea.
If it wasn't for the final ends of the season,
probably if they just won their game, they would have come fourth. They still made Champions League anyway. They made 5th place because Villa effed it. And to be fair, Villa got robbed by the officials with the Bayender handball, the Bayender goal that was disallowed when he should have caught it. But even so, the bottom line is Newcastle were right there with any of the big 6 traditional big 6 teams.
Well, I think
and they were run right.
They were better than us at a lot of points last season.
Yeah, there you go. You look at maybe 1 or 2 defenders and a right winger away from really solidifying that 11. You know, in Mbeumo, we all know Mbeumo would have been like that perfect Gordon, Isak, and Mbeumo combination. Yeah. And even if Isak was to be sold and you bought in 2 strikers and bought in 2 centre backs, you know, even like because they already did bring in Malik Dor, they bring in another centre back, and they bring in, as I said, like the team is still a good side, still a very good side that Newcastle have. So it's going to be very frustrating for the fans knowing how close they were and how close they could have been to remain sustainable as much as well, having all the money and how rich their owners actually are, and how much it would have freed them from
set up Monts, you know, with like. How do you think this set up now? Like, will Visser play on the left and Volta made up top?
I mean, for me, obviously, the money they spent on Visser, obviously, it was an overpayment because we finally gave them their money in it. I guess finally gave them their money, the move was able to happen. I think 50 million with a year left on your contract at 28, 29. It's a lot, but listen, Visser got his 19 non-penalty goals. I don't think it's the same as Dominic Solanke's 18 Premier League or 19 Premier League goals, because I just feel like Solanke, even I think Visser is probably a better suit to get goals in this new setup rather than Solanke going and getting 19 goals for Spurs per se. And for me, I think Voltmeijer is a striker but can also play in behind the striker. But you know, if you look at Newcastle's setup, they play midfield 3, they play 2 robust 8s. And obviously they got the 6 in Tonali. So I'm kind of thinking with Gordon and Barnes, I think those 2 will stay as the wide men. I think personally, just because of the Premier League experience, Wissa should be starting as that front man, and Voltmeijer should probably be molded into the team.
Yeah,
I don't really see Voltmeijer, bro. Like he's a brute. Like he's technical and he's quite a large frame. I think Wissa's probably, if you're looking at frame, you're gonna have to start with Voltmeijer. But I just think Wissa's fought for the move, to come off the bench.
Yeah,
you know,
they've got a Langer as well, haven't they? So
they got a Langer. Yeah. I mean, do you know what? Here's the thing. When it was Ekatike, well, hold on. When it was Ekatike, when it was Ekatike and it was Isak that they thought they was getting, they was talking 4-4-2. The fan base was talking 4-4-2. So who knows? I mean, I don't know what midfielder gets taken out. As I said, Newcastle midfield is wonderful. They have a wonderful midfield blend. So I don't know who
Ramsey to it as well, haven't they?
And they've added Ramsey as well. So now, if you like, are you still going to do 2 up top with Voltmeijer and Wissa? Because Wissa's used to playing with a strike partner. He has done with Mbeumo on many occasions at Brentford. Even with Sharda, sometimes has gone up there for a few games. So it's the 4-4-2 still happening. I think the 4-4-2 was never happening, and they was just cope. But
Like,
we'll see.
Months, that comment, it just confirms as football fans, we're the biggest fucking hypocrites in the world, aren't we?
Oh my God, surprised they try and weed after his behavior.
Bro,
I like that though. The little tongue in cheek.
Bro, this is the thing. Remember when I say that I should be rattled and I should be pissed off by Liverpool? We are football fans, yeah, and we should. Football is
That is
tribal.
kind of funny,
It's tribalism. It's tribalism.
No, that is kind of funny though. I mean, the
Yeah,
fact,
it is. We're all doing it. We're all hypocrites.
defamation of character for Isak. But thank you so much, Risa, for fighting for your move.
Yeah.
We adore you. We adore you.
Well,
we hated Trent for leaving as well. It's all circles and roundabouts.
Oh,
But I think
literally, it is, bro. We're all. This is the thing. We're all hypocrites as football fans. We are all hypocrites. We're all tribal. And if we're not, how much of a football fan really are we? Like, because our love is our football club. Like you fight for.
I'm just waiting to see Luke Edwards, his our latest article speaking about maybe Wies's defamation of character, and maybe you know what I'm saying. Maybe if Brentford got a European space, you know, if they done better and got a European space, maybe then just maybe then you know that still might not have been able to happen.
Sorry, just quickly, we are going to wrap up in a minute, but a couple more super chats. Just let me, Mons, I saw a report the other day that apparently, right, if Trent keeps getting benched, that City are considering a cheeky little putting a massive bid together for January. Yeah. Do you think there's any chance he'd come back to City?
No, I don't believe so.
Sorry. Would it mean more?
But you know what?
That mean more could not ever run.
At that point, I don't want to hear anything about you miss Trent, you're this, that.
Yeah, but bro,
we as fans have. If you still love Trent, that's fine. As I said, he's in my bad books at this moment. As I said, you know, people ask me, is he a legend? Ask me in a couple of years. Don't ask me now. I'm not happy with. Ask me in a couple of years.
I could see a Lampard coming to City vibe, Chelsea. You know what I mean?
He's saying scoring against us as well. He was scoring against us.
Well, could see it. But firstly, appreciate the super chat from Mido saying Salah comment contradict people saying 10-10 window.
Actually false. He said, how about we celebrate? He literally said, how about we celebrate great signings without disrespecting Premier League champions? That doesn't contradict a 10-10 window. Nice try. That's my guy. That's Midori's my guy, but nice try.
And I again appreciate the super chat very much, bro.
Come on, man. David Aya, I've enjoyed the debate, mate. Don't worry about it. I've enjoyed the debate. Go look at the stats. Send me the stats. Aaron Talks Arsenal. I'm intrigued to see what you're looking at. Calafiori isn't inverting like MLS now, is he? I mean, well, he was bought to invert. He was bought from a player like Zinchenko who inverted. He was injured, and then his replacement also inverted. So, yes, he was bought to invert. Are you saying that he isn't inverting at the minute? Well, I got a season ticket, so I definitely saw him with my own two eyes inverting against Leeds. Possibly the only reason why he wasn't doing it in the other two games was probably slight maybe game management, especially at Liverpool, knowing that if Calafiori is going to invert, he's got Salah running against him, which is a totally different prospect. So maybe he's just tactically changed it rather than changed his whole entire system, my friend. But he's inverting because I've used them two in the stadium to do it. Comprehension is your issue. A setup can change. I totally agree. A setup can change, but I don't think you can comprehend that the setup hasn't changed, which maybe then in turn is unfortunately your issue, David. If the execution from the players is wrong, then guess what? The setup isn't executed properly. Now, is it? That's your manager's problem, brother. That is your manager's problem. He cannot set up properly and allow the players to execute it. That's your manager's problem.
He's also your manager.
Sadly, he is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But listen, you're saying big up to the panel, maybe everyone else but me. But I've enjoyed debate, David. I've enjoyed the debate, David Aya. Big up to you and big up for the rest of the panel as well. Big up to the chat. Smash the likes as well and do your thing, man.
I'm going live after on my channel. If you want to come over and just start debating, I'll debate with you as well, bro.
He might even, hey, Joe, good cop or bad cop? I think you usually play good cop.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So listen, if you go over to Just Joe, then he might agree with you as well.
Yeah,
I might agree with you. But no, we are going to redirect over to Just Joe, not Just
me.
Just you.
Just you.
Just you.
Thank you to everyone for being in nearly 1,000 most of the show, which we do appreciate. Make sure you go and check out Match Bingo. I am going to be getting some cards soon. I'll explain to you how it all works. But ultimately, put £5 in, you'll get 3 cards instead of just for 1. And also go and check out OK Jersey, £15 a top, 8% off if you use code OK Jersey. And literally, they've got millions from the Homer Simpson Man City top to the classic Keith Curl Man City top. Anyway, we are out, and Monts, I don't think we're back tonight, are we?
Not as, well, if we find something, then we should be
If we
back.
find something, we might be back. Okay. Until then,
it's a sore subject. It's a sore subject. Yeah, it is. It is, man. Yeah.